Hello and welcome to another edition of Sega Sundays. My name is Justin Towell and today we are going to be playing Panzer Dragoon Zwei, which is the first sequel to Panzer Dragoon, and it does get less plaudits than its RPG sequel, namely Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is really odd because I think actually this is by far the better game. I finished Saga a couple of times. I used to own it, but had to sell it to make rent one time, which is such a shame, but there we go. But yeah, I've got a lovely edition here with good instructions in it. Very nice indeed. So let's give it a go. So the basic plot of the game, I'm going to skip the CG intro after a couple of seconds, but I'll show you what it looks like. The plot is that there are mutant kuriyites, which are these little sort of dolphin-like livestock things. And your character lives in a village where there are mutant kuriyites that have a light emitted from their sort of throat. And so all of the mutant kuriyites have to be destroyed. That's the way of the village. But this particular mutant kuriyite, not the one we're seeing, because that sadly does get shot. This particular one that our hero has got wings. So not just a mutant with the light, but also has wings. And he keeps it secret, but then of course the village gets attacked, and so he starts riding his mutant kuriyite, who he has named Lagi, and Lagi, well, you'll see what happens to Lagi. So Destiny begins. So this is the first level of the game, and it's not particularly spectacular. The game does start slowly. You do get some quite nice graphics, but compared to how things are later, absolutely nothing like what you're going to see in a minute. I'll tell you that for nothing. Now, I'm playing this on a real Sega Saturn, but I've got some crazy discovery here, and I remembered it just now when I set this up. It actually came out in 1995, this game, so that's a year before the 3D pad came out. But look, I've got it set to analog, and somehow the game recognises the analog input, not just as in up, down, left and right, but once I've destroyed this, look, I can move slowly right, or quickly right. Sorry, that's slowly. Yeah, look at that. Proper analog control in circles. So can anyone explain to me how that can be possible? Because that would have to be programmed in, and the only analog controller that I can think of before the Knight's Pad would have been the Arcade Racer. And that's surely only got left and right, because it hasn't got any analog method of going up and down, especially not having any pedals. So somehow the game has been programmed to work with the Knight's Pad before the Knight's Pad even existed. So figure that one out. I have had to change it in the options, because when I tried it just now, the Berserk mode, which is your third form of attack, was triggered when I tried to move the camera left and right. So let's try the camera. That's right, that's left, using the shoulder buttons. And Berserk should be mapped to the button B now, because I just changed that in the options. So we'll see. Anyway, we're going through the village, and you can see there's fire on the floor, and everything's wrecked, damaged. So we're just trying to clear these ancient beasts from the village, because it's all based on ancient technology from a war that happened before, and the world has sort of been rebuilt after the war, and sometimes the ancient technology is found, but someone's obviously got hold of it and has got these flying contraptions. And I must say, using the analog control actually feels quite modern. This is the boss from level 3, which hopefully we'll get to see in a minute. You can't destroy him here, but you can hear him scream. The sound design is superb, art design is superb. You get these great big airships, and dragons, of course. So Lagi, for the first time now, flaps his wings and takes off, but it's short-lived because this other dragon knocks him out of the sky. And to be honest, I think Lagi got off pretty lightly there, because it could have been a lot worse. So that is the end of episode 1. Move on to episode 2 now. which is set in a canyon. I won't skip this one. He says that's how his adventure began, of course, and he learned the tale of the ancient ship soon after. So he's left the village now. Is he going for revenge? Sort of, at least at that time. So obviously with his village destroyed, he wants to go after whatever caused it. And you can see that the graphics are a bit flickery. You know, the hills in the distance are rendered with, well, they're not polygons, it's actually transformed sprites. But these transformed sprites are actually spread very thin to be able, you see it doesn't quite match up with the ground, but that's because the sprites are stretched so much. You can see how low the resolution is there because it's really stretched to give these huge open vistas. I suppose vista's not quite the right word, but huge open environments. You can see it clipping out of view in the distance there as we get further away. But yeah, obviously the hardware is really stretched here, but it does it, and it's doing it at about 30 frames a second, maybe a little less. It does drop sometimes, but overall it's a real showcase for the Sega Saturn. Now you can shoot these sort of tent things, and then another Kuriit seems to come out and run alongside you, and I'm actually not going to shoot it. Here it is. You can shoot it, and look on the radar on the top right, it does say that it's a an enemy, but it's not doing anything to me. So I might just leave it and see what happens. Oh, can I go left? Yes, I can. Right, so I've used a different route now and I've gone to the left. You can go to the right. And there's another one. They're not attacking me, so I think I might just leave them. But it's going to hurt my percentage score at the end if I don't take them down. Never mind, I've never left them before, so let's see. Oh, he's run away! How interesting! Wow, he got shot at and ran away, whereas I'm going towards the danger. Now, in case you're wondering how the game works, I'm not controlling where Lagi is going. Lagi is just running on rails. It's an on-rail shooter, and very much like previous Sega shooters like Rez, well I say Rez is after of course, but okay, previous like Afterburner, it's got a lock-on style where you hold down the button, position the crosshair over what you want to shoot, and then let go, and it fires the lock-on from Lagi's throat. That's what the green glow is there. So this is quite vertiginous. Look at this. So this pink ground, pink sunset, is actually different to if we'd taken the other route. I know this because I actually tried it just now. The reason I'm playing it again is not because I played it badly, because actually I did very well. Instead, it's because I've realised it's got a widescreen mode. And I think seeing as very few Sega Saturn games have a widescreen mode, and I'm playing it on widescreen, might as well film in widescreen, so there we go. So I don't know whether this means a different boss, but this is definitely not the same route that I took before. And there are lots of different routes to be found, it has to be said, and it gives you route points afterwards which help you evolve your dragon. And what's firing? Ooh. Have they gone behind me? Oh, it's hard. It's hard to keep everything in view, but I'm liking the analog control very much. Oh, it's red. Okay, it's red when you've reached the maximum number of lock-ons that you can do. Got to shoot these or just dodge out the way. So it makes the use of the Saturn's 3D capabilities by allowing you to dodge in between stuff, like this. But it's still on rails. I've got limited control. Whoops! I can look left and right, but I can't actually change where I'm going. I got lucky with missing a few of those, I think. Right, now what's happening over here? Oh, there's loads happening over there. Oh, wow. So you've got this berserk attack, like this, where you can take out everything you can see, lock onto it. And I think Berserker is something that was big in Japanese culture, because obviously around that time you also had Neon Genesis Evangelion, and the Avas do go Berserk as well. So probably a bit of a what's the word? Trope. It's a trope. Right, can I shoot these down? Yes. Oh, I got hit. Right, so I think now we're going to face the boss, but I don't know if it's the same boss. I should imagine it will be because it's a major set piece. Let's see, but there's no rocks around me, look. Mind you, the Saturn's draw distance couldn't draw rocks in such wide open spaces like this. Back on the Saturn, sometimes you would find 2D planes, a bit like SNES's Mode 7. That's basically what's going on with the floor, in that that's completely flat. So they couldn't render a space that big with real 3D without it looking very stretched. Right, are we going to get the... we're going to land? What's happening? Laggy's still flying, which... in fact, if I'd taken the right-hand path, Laggy would have tried to fly but not managed it, but because I've come this way, somehow Laggy is flying. And we're turning to the left. That's not me doing that. You see the rotation on the background there, look, it's very crude rotation, but that's lovely, isn't it? I say lovely, I like effects like that. I love it when hardware is really being pushed to its limits. Right, okay, Laggy is coming into land, so I think we are going to face the same boss as if I'd taken the other route. Gonna land? Nope, okay. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? There we go. Right, land, good. Okay, so yes, now these huge rocks have appeared. We should have seen them on the horizon, of course, but this is 32-bit technology. And now we get to pick apart this boss. There it is. I'm going to fire my Berserker straight away, get lots of hits in, and then see if I can build it up again. So you can destroy the guns so they can't shoot you anymore, which is always useful. You've always got to move the camera yourself to be able to see it. It's opening up with more guns on these extremities. And I can shoot these with my laser. So the laser is actually held by the hero. I can't remember his name, which is really disappointing because I did used to know. And firing that laser builds up Laggy's Berserker gauge, and I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's because Laggy wants to get involved. I guess building up the laser power in Laggy's throat. But as you can see, all the different elements of this you can shoot off, and at one point it drops this cargo of sort of triangular crates. And back in the mid-90s, it just looked incredible. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it. Surely it's going to do it now. There we go, look at that. Yeah, unreal. Right, going to fire the Berserker again and see if we can finish this off swiftly. There's more of those things going up in the air. Oh, I got hit by one. And that's about it. There's nothing left to fall off, is there? Just that gun. Yeah. Nice. Okay. And down it goes like a sack of spuds. A rather pointy sack of spuds at that. So the size of those sprites, pretty impressive. You know, I know they're checkerboard transparencies rather than a real thing, but I know the Sega Saturn couldn't do transparencies, but in a minute you're going to see some. Just got one level to go in the meantime. So I still got 95.6% shot down ratio. I got root points 1, that was for the route I took, I think, and technical points 2. So I don't know if you noticed there, but Lagi evolved. So Lagi is now a fully fledged dragon, and depending on how many points you get, not score points but other points, I believe Lagi evolves differently. So then you get this little cutscene. Again, it's one of those flat representations of the forest, and I always remember that Bulamal sheep, like a frightened little sheep. So they're not after Lagi, they're chasing the ancient ship, right? But we're going to go down into the forest, and this level was given away as a demo on Sega Saturn magazine, and I played that and thought that's pretty awesome. So we're going to have a go at the forest level. Now, it's hard to imagine, if you weren't around in the 90s, it's probably hard to imagine this looking amazing. But believe me, it really, really did. Flying through a completely 3D forest, when just a couple of years earlier, the best forest you could get was stuff like World of Illusion on the Mega Drive. And I suppose Thunderhawk on the Mega CD the year before this came out, but or 2 years before. Something like that anyway. And then all of a sudden you've got this fully 3D environment, and it's just unreal. So this has actually got 2 of those flat 2D planes, one acting as a ceiling, the canopy of the forest, and one acting as the floor. Different graphics for each. And then you've got these 2-dimensional tree sprites, which is a shame because they're always pointing towards the camera in the same way. Look, oh, well, some of them are 3D. Those are 2D. Yeah. I suppose I should actually shoot the things that are trying to kill me rather than look at the 2D trees. But it's a nice blend of 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional elements, I think you'll agree. Nerdy, I know, but you know, here we are for Sega Sundays. We want to get into the nitty-gritty, don't we? So it does play very much like Res, except you don't have to shoot that weird little cube thing. I think that was a route, a different, yeah, I've gone to the right there. I think that was a route change that I didn't know was coming. But there were some brown sprites on the left, which probably, if you were looking for the other routes, would act as your cue to get over and hold left. But it's all very pretty. It's all gone very quiet, isn't it? Wow, right. So when I played this just now, as I say, it didn't have this. I must have used the different route, but yeah, I remember this one. Oh, it's firing green things at me. You can shoot every segment of its body, and eventually it falls apart. There you go, falling apart. There's another one. I'm going to use my Berserk. Where is it? Oh, it's above me. Very clever, hiding from the Berserk. So that kind of uses Space Harrier's idea of having multi-segmented bosses, although these are actually 3D segments, but it gives a really good impression of movement before things could be animated like modern ones can. Modern bosses like those in Bloodborne, for instance, where there's loads of different body appendages. And the frame rate is holding up. We're probably on about 30 frames, which is awesome. So another one, wow. Yeah, I didn't see any of these things when I played it just now. It's gone into the ground. I think it's run away. So I don't think I'll get that as a kill towards my shot ratio. Never mind. Anyway, all goes quiet now, and we get to see that monstrosity from level 1. Watch the radar at the top right. There, something big has appeared. Yep, there's a shadow, and look at that. And it's behind me. He's behind me, isn't he? In true Marvel style. And, you know, it's reminding me of the best that Treasure did, because, you know, this galloping, incredible boss. Very much like something out of Gunstar Heroes or Radiant Silvergun. But I think this came out before Radiant Silvergun, and there's nothing like this on Saturn. I think, you know, fully 3D forest and this incredible boss. Leaping around, firing sprites at you. And going up into the trees. I'm going to hit it with his cross. Hit it with the Berserk. Just brilliant, look at it go. And now he's going to start swinging around like a monkey, dropping these blooms that actually have fire come out of them if you leave them too long. And he starts getting out this really tough to avoid, yeah, that thing. Oh god, I got him, that's good. Right, and then you get this fantastic death animation. Wow. And he falls apart. So when I played it just now, he didn't do that animation, and he didn't fall apart like that. So yeah, different game depending on how you play. And I gotta be honest, I think I'm only scratching the surface of this game. Even though you can see I can play it, I know what I'm doing, I think there's so much more I haven't seen. So more clear points there. Technical points, Lagi is evolving. You can see in the background there, Lagi's evolving into a red dragon. And then you get to go into these ruins for level 4. So we're going to play through level 4 and do the boss, and then I think I'm going to leave it there because I don't want the video to be too long, although I hope you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying myself. It's a real treat to play this game, I got to say. I was playing Burning Rangers the other day to make a video for this, and oh, it's just no fun. Yeah, it's really struggling, but I think perhaps I should reserve talking about that for if I do it. But honestly, I played level 1 of Burning Rangers, and I thought, well, that's too slow and dull. I can't really show that. So then I did it all again and did level 2, and that was really dull. And it's glitchy, it's buggy, it's hard to control. Whereas this is aged like a fine wine. Especially, in fact, I've got an Atomos Ninja 5 that I'm using to capture this. And that is not only a 4K capture device, it's actually a monitor for videographers. So you have to put it on top of your video camera so you can see what the colours are like on a really good screen while you're filming. So if I were to look down to my right, I can see the game running on this lovely small screen. It's probably about 5 inches or so, 6 inches. And it looks gorgeous on it. Yeah, so playing it on a 25 inch or so 4K screen, it doesn't look amazing because everything's so stretched, but yet again this is another bit that I didn't see just now, and I don't remember seeing this at all. Look at these. Wow, I just don't remember ever seeing this. That's amazing. Can I destroy this? Yeah, I can't destroy that one. Yeah, an entirely new bit that I don't remember seeing before, all because I was looking at the Atomos screen. So what's happening here? Okay, I'm going to just go into Berserk and take them out like this, because it's weird to be surrounded, especially if they start going in a circle. It's like some kind of ritual. And now the platform's rising. Like I said, it's a treat. It just keeps surprising. What a game. Lagi is really well animated as well, good sense of weight. The polygons, or at least warped textures, warped sprites however, that make up Lagi are joined to each other and warping to give this effect of skin, and that's very true of Athlete Kings as well on Saturn. So the Saturn very rarely did that effect where polygons were attached to each other and warped to give the effect of skin, but this one does it. Now I should have started shooting these earlier because I'm not going to get them all, but that's alright. That one, oh, that's a big thing. There's one behind me as well, I'm aware of that. So if I turn around and fire the Berserker, I might be able to get it. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, taking apart these structures. I do remember doing this before, but I don't remember that other bit. Okay, something up here. Oh, it looks like we're coming up to another causeway. Yeah, look at that animation on Lagi. Brilliant. A little bit of line glitching in his tail, or her tail, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's great. Great stuff. A sense of scale unlike anything else on Saturn that I can think of. No, Steep Slope Sliders has got a decent sense of scale with its mountains, but nothing like this. This is epic, proper epic gaming, and to come so far from the original Panzer Dragoon Panzer Dragoon, which was a launch game. Oh, here we are. We're up. In such a short space of time, Team Andromeda really hit their stride with this game and showed what the Saturn could do. And it's comparable in graphical scale to stuff you'd find on the N64. It's definitely N64 quality, but without the blurriness, dare I say it. We're not going to get into N64 bashing today, but this is razor sharp. And look at this water effect. So yeah, somehow I managed to avoid the water for ages. And there's something under me in the water. Is it coming out? There it is. Okay, so we didn't see much of the water, but we're about to at least see the boss here. And I think you'll agree that the water looks superb. So we're on another causeway, but this one's very thin. And at the end here, there are enemies to destroy, and I really should be shooting them with a gun because I think they're placed there so you can fill up your Berserker bar. But anyway, so you look around and you think, well, there's not much here. You see where we came from, but look down there. What's that? There are bubbles rising from the depths, and you can't quite see what they are. So you have a look. And it's appeared on the radar, and there it is. That is a true transparency on the Sega Saturn. It's actually running underneath all of that incredible water effect. Just amazing. So he's going to jump out the water now, there we go, and then we get some good shots away. Where is he? There he is. It is superb. I'm filling up my Berserker. Oh dear, got hit. Filling up the Berserker bar, and now it's going to start smashing this up. Years before Sonic's Orca, Killer Whale, smashed up the pier, you had this on Saturn. And I think there's more sense of peril here. I suppose it's because you know that the Orca can't hit you in Sonic Adventure. At least it's not meant to. Sometimes it glitches and does, knocks you off, but not properly. Anyway, right, so we filled up the Berserker bar now, so when it's properly out of the water, I'm going to give this a go with the Berserker. But like apparently everything else in the game, this actually has different outcomes. For instance, if I hit it with the Berserker now, it gets very angry, and that's what I'm going to do. There we go. Whereas if you don't do this and don't make it angry, then it goes through a different attack sequence where it's a lot more docile. The camera can't quite keep up with it when it's so high, but that's alright. I mean, for the whole game to hold together as well as it does, because it's so ambitious, you know, I don't think I've seen any bugs. Have you seen any bugs? Or glitches or anything? It's rock solid. Alright, I've got about half of it left. Now, if you shoot those sort of floating mines, it turns into really nasty homing shots. So I'm actually not going to shoot them. I'm just going to try and shoot the beast. Yeah, see? They really hurt. Showing off the transparencies again. More mines. Right. And then it's out of the water. And then lasers, but that's alright, I've got my lasers too. Still maintaining 30 frames per second. Incredible. And I think that's it, yeah. And then you get this wonderful destruction sequence. Unreal, isn't it? Unreal. And it even had a reflection there. Don't know if you saw that. There's the bubbles rising, and you fly over it, and it's twitching underneath the water. Twitchy, twitchy, and then explodes. Yeah. Brilliant. So I think I'm going to leave it there because we've been playing for half an hour. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. I really did. I think that's an incredible game. So yeah, a real jewel in the crown of the Sega Saturn, and indeed of my collection. So we're going to do more Saturn stuff, but at some point we'll move on to Mega CD and 32X and Mega Drive, maybe Master System and Game Gear, because we've already tackled some Dreamcast ones. But at the moment I'm just doing first-party, Sega produced games. But of course there are plenty of other classics once we've done those. But we'll go through and do the Sega ones first. Maybe start dotting around different consoles, but yeah, keep it pinned to Sega Sundays here on my channel, The Real Cat Gone Crazy. Check out the playlist for more of these. I also do modern reviews and retro reviews, tech reviews, as well as music that I make myself. So have a look around my channel if you'd be so kind. Thanks so much. I'll see you again soon. Take care until next time. Cheers.